So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we'll be continuing working through some AQA GCSE Maths Foundation topic test with the focus of rounding to significant figures. Now as always there'll be a copy of the test paper in the description below for you to have an attempt at either before watching this video or while watching as we go through the answers. Now before we get started, it's worth mentioning that significant figures can appear and probably will appear on both the non-calculator and the calculator paper, and it's one of those really important skills you do need to be able to do. Now if you're not great at significant figures, either you know that before watching this video or practicing some questions, or you find out that you've got a lot of these questions wrong, then I'll attach a link that goes through how to actually round to significant figures in the video that you're watching. So looking at question 1, it says round 5.23 to one significant figure. Now, again, it's worth knowing what the first significant figure is. Now, the first significant figure is the first non-zero number. So here it's a 5 and it represents units. So we want to round this number up to the nearest unit. And this number to round it to the nearest unit is going to be 5. For question 1b, we're going to round 367 to one significant figure. So the first non-zero number is a 3. That represents hundreds, so we want to round this number up to the nearest 100, which is 400. Then for C, the first significant non-zero number is the 4. That 4 represents a hundredth, so we want to round this number up to the nearest hundredth, so then it becomes 0.05. Then for question 2, it says round 12.45 to two significant figures. So here the second significant figure is the 2. That represents units, so we want to round this number to the nearest unit, and so the answer is going to be 12. For question 2b, we want to round this up to the second significant figure, so that's going to be the 3, and that represents a thousandth, so we want to round this number to the nearest thousandth, so it becomes 0.092, 3 rather. And there we go. Then moving on to question 2c, it says round 123.7 to 2 sig fig. So here our second significant figure represents tens, so we want to round this number to the nearest 10, which is 120. Moving on to question 3, so in here we're rounding up to 3 sig fig, so it says round 3.57292 to 3 sig fig. So our third significant figure represents a hundredth, so we want to round this number up to the nearest hundredth, so it's going to be 3.58. Then for 3b, our third non-zero number, again from the left, that 0 does count, so it's going to be the 9, and so the answer then is going to be 0.0109. Then for 3c, we're looking at 234,681 to 3 sig fig. So our third significant figure represents thousands, so we want to round this number to the nearest thousand. So it's going to be 235 with 3 zeros. Then moving on to our calculation question. So this is where we need to enter these calculations in the calculator. So again, if you're struggling to see, that's 1.2 times 34, which gives us an answer of 40.8. I want to round this answer to one sig fig. So the first sig fig represents tens, so I'll round this up to the nearest 10, which is 40. Then working out the square root of 27.9. So again, if I enter that in the calculator, it gives me an answer of 5.282045058. We're rounding this number up to the nearest significant figure, which is the 5, which is a unit. So we round this up to the nearest unit, it's going to be 5. Then 14 cubed, well, that gives me an answer of 2744. I want to round this up to the nearest sig fig, which is thousands. So round this up to the nearest thousand gives me 3000. Moving on to question 5a. Now again, if you're struggling to see what this calculation is, it's 23 plus 9.2 all divided by 34.2 minus 5.71. Again, let me just enter this on the calculator. And you want to, when you enter it on the calculator, you want to make sure it looks exactly how it's written in the question. So I've got 23 plus 9.2 at the top, and then 34.2 minus 5.71 equals, press the SD button, and that is the number that I then need to round. So that answer there is 1.3 or 0.022113. So round this up to 4 sig fig. So the fourth significant figure is that 0. So it's going to be 1.130. Then with the next one, now this again is the cube root of 3.4. And if I type in the cube root of 3.4, I get an answer of 1.503694596. And to 4 significant figures, which is the 3, the next number next to it is bigger than 4, so it's going to be 1.0504. Now, yeah, that's definitely a 3. If you interpreted that as being root 5 of 3.4, and let's just do that on the side. So if I press shift and then the fraction, the square root button, and 3.4, that gives me an answer of 1.27. So let me just write that digit down: 1.277308445, which then gives me to 4 significant figures, which is that 7, 1.277, and there is my final answer. And that's just a little bonus question, or if it actually is 5, I can't really tell on the screen. Moving on to 5C, it says calculate 3 minus 17 divided by 23. So 3 minus 17 divided by 23. Entering that on the calculator, I get an answer of 2.260869565. Round this up to 4 sig fig, which is the 0, then gives me 2.261. Then for 5D, enter this all on your calculator, press an equals, you should get an answer of 9.269304,181. So round this up to 4 sig fig, which is that 9. Number next to it is not bigger than 4, so it stays the same. And there is my final answer for that one. And then moving on to our last 2 questions. Square root of 5 over 9. Well, that's 0.74535599 59925, and the 4 significant figure is there. The number next to it is bigger than 4, so it's going to be 0.7454. And then finally 0.9 to the power of 5. Let's just plug that into our calculator. So we've got 0.9 to the power of 5, press equals, and it gives you an answer of 0.59049, and we want to round this up to the 4 significant figure, which is that 4. Number next to it is bigger than 4, so it's 0.5905 as my final answer.